Okay. This will test your geography and science. Okay, so those especially, including you, Asmi, cannot put you amongst adults and I cannot put you amongst kids, but I will have questions for you also, okay? So, before I actually go into why we celebrate, let us understand what is Makar Sankranti. So, in geography, when we were studying as in school, we learned 3 lines on earth. One was equator. What is equator? Aditi, we'll start with you this time. What is equator? Okay, Asmi. Mensch. Don't record this.
Fine.
Okay, equator. Anybody? Sorry? Yes, loud and clear. Yes.
It's kind of like a line in the middle of the world.
Good.
Paused.
Yes. Equator?
Hemispheres.
Yes, thank you. Equator is an imaginary line which is drawn in the center of the earth, which separates the earth into 2 equal parts, which is the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. Above that, there are 2 more lines, and I'm not going to ask you guys now. One is known as the Tropic of Cancer in the north and the Tropic of Capricorn in the south. Okay? Now, when the sun moves, it reaches the highest point in the northern hemisphere to the Tropic of Cancer and in the southern hemisphere to the Tropic of Capricorn. On the basis of this, we learn 4 terms in English. One is known as the summer solstice, which is on the 21st of June when the sun reaches the equator and the day and night are equal. Sorry, 23rd March when it reaches the equator and the day and night are equal. 21st June when the sun is on the Tropic of Cancer and we have the longest day. Then again on the 23rd of September or the 21st, I think, on the September, it is again on the equator when the day and night are again equal, and the sun then starts its southward journey, which is known as the winter solstice, when you have the longest night in the northern hemisphere on the 21st of December. Now when I say the term Makar Sankranti, the word Sankranti means change. Okay, if you have seen, everything that we do is governed by the sun. Our rising up is governed by the sun. When I tell you, you sit in the Havan, the Yajman sits facing the Purva Disha, the east. Why? Because you are facing the sun. Sun is a symbol of life. It is the symbol of positivity. It is the symbol of enthusiasm. It is a symbol of energy. That is why we sit facing the sun. So sun is a very important thing. In Upanishad, there is a sentence which says, Adityo havai prana. Aditya is the sun. It is pran. Pran is the force that gives you life. That is the importance we have accorded to the sun. So when we celebrate Makar Sankranti, the real Makar Sankranti comes on the 22nd of December, when the sun starts its journey from the Tropic of Capricorn back towards the northern hemisphere. So it is the movement of the sun which is coming back towards the northern hemisphere, and we are very enthusiastic about it that okay, days are going to be longer from now on. So that is the movement of the sun, and that is what we call Sankranti. In the popular culture, it is being celebrated for a very long time on the 14th of January, because the time keeps on changing. So I think the people have agreed upon one single date of the 14th of January. I don't know how, do you celebrate Makar Sankranti in Fiji?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Not by the name.
Okay.
Sakrat. Maybe Sakrat.
We don't celebrate.
You are very close to the equator probably.
So we are over that, so we don't really know.
Okay.
I'm sure we don't have the knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
We're missing that.
That being said, in India, when it is celebrated, there are 3 things. One is til, the other is tail, and the third one is tool. Til, you know, is the sesame. Okay? Tool is the blanket. In India, we call it the rajai. Okay? And tail is, you know the word til? The word tail comes from the word til, because the first oil that we used was from til. So we call it tail. And we donate these 3 things. Why? Because these 3 things are very important in this season. Til, because it it has an inherent capability of warmth. When you eat it, we eat til ke laddus, til ki barfis because they all give heat to the body. Then you tel, all things made, again warmth. And tool we donate because people who do not have the ability to get warmth or do not have the resources to arrange this, we give it to them. Another popular thing that is done in India on this day is that they give food to the cows. But as always, we have a little misunderstanding. They give so much food to the cows on one single day that the cow eats so much on one day and the rest of the year there is no food for them. But the idea of doing this on this particular day was, it is the same principle that works behind your birthdays. It works behind your anniversaries, the same principle that works for your New Year resolutions. What happens is that once we have a particular day, we make certain resolutions. But when the time passes and over a year, the resolutions become slightly weaker. So when the next year comes, we are able to renew those resolutions. So the idea is that I am promising to take care of the cows throughout the year. But then life happens and we continue to forget. But again, when the 14th of January comes, you remind yourselves that, okay, I had made myself this promise that I am going to do these 3-4 things, and I do that. The entire reason why we celebrate anything, does anybody know what is, not the Urdu word, what is the Hindi word for a festival?
Tihwar.
Not Urdu.
Utsav.
Na, Parv.
Tihwar.
हाँ, त्योहार. Okay, I might be wrong also.
फारसी में तो त्योहार कोई वर्ड ही नहीं है.
Acha, I was looking for Parv.
Yeah.
Okay, so why do we do that is that when there is no change in life, it gets boring. It's monotonous. Imagine if there was no night. We like days, we work in days, we are very happy when the day comes, but if we had only a day, like the whole thing was day without an interruption of night, then would we like it? No. So there has to be a period which goes down and the period that comes up. Why? Because it generates enthusiasm. It renews your energy. It gives you strength, vibe to do more, to be enthusiastic about it, and that is why you celebrate everything. Why do we have more in winters? Because in winters the weather is gleam. If you see, even if you see in concept of Western festivals, they have a lot of festivals starting from September to January. Why? Because the weather is so bleak, you need something to keep you energized. You need enthusiasm in life, otherwise, I have heard, somebody was telling me a very wonderful statistic, that in the state of Maine, which is like on the Canadian border on the northeastern side, domestic violence increases in December and January because it's a 6 months night. If there is no enthusiasm, if there is nothing to look forward to in life, people cannot remain energetic, and that is the same reason that you have a night followed by a day. Every day the day comes, but we treat it as a single new day every day because we look forward to it, okay, that tomorrow would be a new day. So similarly, the principle works in celebration of everything, and Makar Sankranti is also one such thing that comes in January, and we celebrate it as a parva, as an utsav, as a tyohar, as a festival, and remind ourselves that we have to donate to the people who are weaker than us and to the animals who also depend on us and give us their milk, give us their love, and we keep reminding ourselves that every year. If you have any questions, feel free to, okay, before I end, I have one more thing. There is a word that we use for the journey of the sun that I was explaining. When the sun moves north, you call it, any idea in Hindi, what do you call it?
Uttarayan.
And then one which comes down, you call it? Dakshinayan. The word that you use here is ayan. Okay? Now, there is this word ayan used in a very, very popular book. Can you tell me which book it is? And it is in vogue right now, especially tomorrow. Which book is that? Ramayana. If you look at the word Ramayana, it has the word ayan in it. What ayan means is a mark, a path. But what kind of path? Which starts at a particular point and comes back to the same point. So it means when I say Ramayana, it means the path of Ram from Ayodhya to Lanka and back to Ayodhya. So it is a to and fro journey, and that is why you call it Ramayan, the marg of Ram, the path of Ram. So when I say Dakshinayan, it means the path of the sun which started from the southern hemisphere and went back to the southern hemisphere, and Uttarayan, the path of the sun which started from the northern hemisphere and went back to the northern hemisphere. Now if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
One more thing to add, like जो ऑर्बिट होता है जिसमें घूमती है उसको क्रांति बोलते हैं. तो या क्रांति, इसीलिए you can correlate with the Makar Sankranti.
The Cancer, Makar is the Cancer, tropic of Cancer journey. Questions?
So because the Cancer is on top in the northern hemisphere.
Tropic of Cancer. So the journey towards the northern hemisphere. Now we start. On 21st of December, the sun which was in the southern hemisphere starts moving to the northern hemisphere. Yes. The day starts getting longer in March 21st or 23rd. It reaches the equator when the day and night are equal, and then in the northern hemisphere you start seeing more of daylight, and on 21st June you have the longest day.
I had a question about why on the 14th we celebrate Makar Sankranti, not on the solstice, but you explained it, so I understood it was a date that was picked.
Yes, I have no history of that. It is just in popular parlance that people have selected and everybody follows that.
तिथि चेंज होती है.
हाँ, तिथि change होती है इस कारण. Convenience.
बदलती है actually.
Solar calendar, see, every time when the earth moves, there's a difference in time. It is not always the same.
Yes.
So they have picked one date to celebrate instead of, like for example, Diwali is a different date every time, Holi is a different date every time. So according to the movement of the sun, the earth, the moon, it changes. So they have just picked a date for Makar Sankranti.
Yes, but it is not on the 21st or 22nd when is a full solstice.
The real Sankranti is on the 22nd of
It
December.
is on that day. Only the celebration is here.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. No questions?
Question from Dave. We should answer a question from Dave.
I will see. I have explained this 2 years back. Okay, but next time Makar Sankranti, as I said, will come every year. So there is no running away. Okay. So next time when I ask, you should come up with the answer. Okay.
Peanuts for
Okay.
Good. Tail and
Tool.
Cool.
Til, tail and tool. Ta. तीन तेल है.
But so I guess
सुरेश जी ने बहुत सही बताया. जो हम तेल बोलते हैं ना, ऑयल बोलते हैं, तेल
तिल से आता
वो
है.
तिल से ही आता है, लेकिन बोल देते हैं मस्टर्ड ऑयल, ये दिस ऑयल, दैट ऑयल.
हाँ, पर ओरिजिनल वर्ड तिल का तेल से है.
You know.
चलिए फिर शांति पाठ कर लें. ओम द्यौः शान्तिः अन्तरिक्षं शान्तिः पृथिवी शान्तिरापः शान्तिरोषधयः शान्तिः वनस्पतयः शान्तिर्विश्वे देवाः शान्तिर्ब्रह्म शान्तिः सर्वं शान्तिः शान्तिरेव शान्तिः सामा शान्तिरेधि. ओम शांति शांति शांति. जो बोले सो अभय. महर्षि स्वामी दयानंद सरस्वती जी की जय. गुरु विरजानंद सरस्वती जी की जय. आर्य समाज वेद की ज्योति जलती रहे. ओम का झंडा ऊंचा रहे. वैदिक ध्वनि. वैदिक अभिवादन.